how do people get into your network, right? I mean, how do the strangers become part of your network? Um, so there's that, like I said, that there is a bit of that chicken and egg. It makes a lot of sense to rely on your network for people to, like you said, Karen, to get the, you know, the references, potentially clients, right? And, you know, referring people that they know. But how does a person come into the network of a line 4?
Yeah, I think that's such a good question. So that just brings me to what I was just thinking about when Kalyani was talking about that trust. And there's also this thing with line 4 about needing to prepare, which I had thoroughly out of control because I never knew. Obviously, I was a line 4 in the past. I would just prepare to a ridiculous extent to try and feel stable. And I think for me now, what I prepare vibrationally. So I feel it's a real opportunity if you have a line 4 and you're consciously on that spiritual path to develop the trust that Kalyani was talking about, and being in that space where there is apparently nothing happening. And what I learned through the programs that I've done in the past, sometimes there's a gap where people leave, because especially if you're raising your vibration and you're developing spiritually, and you might be alone. And I think for me, the rejection has been the biggest pain of the 4th line, but the other people are coming in. I mean, I did actually go to a networking group, because again, you've got the strategy and authority, which is going to tell you where to go. So we do have a direction. So I actually went to a networking group, and I didn't even want to make any sales at the time. I didn't really think they were my people. It wasn't what I was presenting to them, wasn't quite aligned for me. But then another time I went off to the coffee shop, and this woman was sitting there, and she'd seen me in the networking group, and she said, "Hey, come over here. I need someone to do some tapping with this group." And then she got me to this group, and then they all became my clients, and then they recommended other people. And I'll just give you another example. I wanted to go to find a specific type of yoga. I was looking for it in my area. I couldn't find it anywhere. I went to something else, and there was a card by a yoga teacher. So I went to her yoga class, and this woman said to me, "Do you do EFT?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "I've got this circle, and we're looking for someone to tap with us, to do a tapping circle." And all of them became my clients. That was years ago. And then their friends came in. So I would say, follow your strategy and authority, you know, and it's being open. But I think learning to sit in that gap and really give yourself the nurturing to process it, and to allow yourself to align with something new coming in. And the more that you do that, the more confident you get with it. Does that make sense, what I said there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, actually. And I'm glad you brought in strategy and authority to all that. So I am going to get back to you, Aisling, on the next question. But Kalyani, I'd love to hear from you on further comments about all of that, about how people come into your network as a line 4.
Okay, so one of the most interesting things I've learned from my own experience is whatever you do to create this network, do it from a place of already being fulfilled without having the network.
Mm-hmm.
Because the energy you give off, because we all feel energy, when you're already fulfilled, people want to be around that energy. But if you come in with this, "I need you to help me, please," it's that desperate ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend vibe. And that's what you don't want to avoid. I mean, that's what you want to avoid. So, you know, for me, it's always been about sharing my energy. When I share my energy, I write posts. And when I write posts on social media, on LinkedIn, all that stuff, it's not with the desire for likes, shares, and that, okay, wait, I learned this, I want to share this. And sometimes the posts do really well. I had like 3,000 views on one post on LinkedIn, and then I just had 300 on the other. And it's to be okay with that. A lot of the things that I write about are from practical life experiences, because that's what people can relate to, not the, technical terms that we talk about, but practical life experiences. I wrote about lessons learned from a missing hoodie. We can all relate to that. And it was literally about taking the action, letting go of the outcome and what that actually feels like, because we don't know what it really feels like. And people, I don't want to talk about the post. People can go check it out. It is on my timeline. But whenever we take action, whatever action that is, and this is why I say why I stopped motivating myself, is the action should not be to desire the goal at the end of the action. Treat the action as the goal itself. How will your energy change? Will you come at it with desperate energy and just say, okay, you know what? My goal is just writing about this. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter who comes to me after I write about this, but I just want to write about it because I feel it's a strong message that needs to go out there.